Hello everybody, welcome. As you can see, my setup has evolved a bit. It took me a long time to get here, and this is why I was not posting here. Gone are the true NAS boxes, and instead we have a FreeBSD cluster with 3 active servers running a MariaDB Galera cluster, Nginx, HA proxy, and 2 of the servers are running a host setup for storage, meaning that I can lose any server without needing to do any intervention. I just have to power it back on. And if I lose 2 servers, the services keep running. I just need to restart them manually to get the DB cluster back in place. The network is also redundant. I don't have stacked switches, but there's a lag setup done in failover, meaning also that if I lose a NIC or a switch, nothing goes offline. Each server also has its own UPS. One of them is an online UPS that can keep it active up to 4 hours. It's all very nice, but I don't have how to manage it in case I'm out of internet. I have 2 providers, but the router can also crash. So I decided to make use of the fact that I have an analog line here and get a dial-up for out-of-band management. However, I only have a single analog line, and it's very important to test the setup before putting it online. So I got this lovely old stock in the box Linksys SPA2102, and this should give me 2 analog lines to test. I can connect the modem to one of the servers, but initially I will connect it to one of my workstations with serial ports, and I can use one of my Windows CE devices with a built-in modem to dial in using Hyperterminal or something like that and test the configuration and the performance. So let's check what is inside. We start with a classic configuration CD. Linksys, a division of Cisco VoIP, spring of 2008. I assume I'm not gonna need any of this. This is just a PDF copy of the declaration of conformity and yada yada yada. It goes out. Then we get the device itself. It is very small. On the back you have 2 phone ports, an Ethernet port, and an internet port, so you can also act as a full router. There are screw holes to put it on a wall. It is very light, but it's gonna probably do the job. Down here we have a decent looking Ethernet cable dated January 2010. We get 1 phone cable. I should have a second one somewhere. I hope they send a second one, would make my life easier, but 1 is here. On the side here you get an adapter for the plug, for the wall plug, so this is the European one. On this side you get the power adapter itself, so I will need to arrange a second phone cable. I should have it in my box of doom. The second star of the show today is our US Robotics Courier V-Everything 56 kbps modem. This is a very advanced modem that should support multiple authentication options, multiple users. It should also automatically switch between fax and data, which is something I may explore someday. Although I lose direct console access, we'll see. On the back, it comes with this, with the large, I think this is DB25 serial port, female, have headphone jack, power jack, and there's a cover here to keep the phone port covered so you don't plug it to the wrong one. It also came with this UK power adapter here. I got from a shop nearby the converter for EU, So I ended up getting from the shop the serial adapter, female male DB25 to DB9. I only had no modem cable, so I also got this serial cable, male female, to be able to connect to a workstation. And the manual is very emphatic about needing a ferrite bead attached to the cable. So I got this one from a local shop. Actually, not from a local shop, I got it from a seller in Greece on eBay. Most of them were from China, would take more than a month to get here, and this one arrived in just a couple of days. I have connected to my test laptop and it seems to be booting up. So let's see what it goes. I'm gonna give it some time, and once it is done, I'll see if my laptop will get an IP address. You probably can see here that, well, I got an IP address, so let's just try to log into the web interface and see what happens. So 2 weeks have passed because I found out that the phone adapter I had ordered was factory blocked. The seller gave me a full refund, so I had no issue with that, and I ordered an unlocked one. It arrived, I configured it with a very simple dial plan, and I should be able now to ring from one line to the other. I replaced my test laptop with my Aero 4000 with Windows CE, just because it has both a serial port and a hardware modem. They are both connected, and I hope that I can at least trigger one to dial into the other. You can also see here that out of the box the modem is configured to auto answer the call, so I should be able to do a quick test, and the modems are going to at least, in theory, handshake, even though then a connection is not going to be established because there is no software to take over here. The first step for me is going to be to check if I can get the data terminal ready light set on the modem, and that will mean that the modem is ready to talk to the computer and actually, well, it detects that the computer is there and communicate with it. So I'm gonna go to Programs, Communication, then I'm gonna go to Terminal. I created a test session here, but I'm gonna show you the configuration. If you go to Properties, you see it's a Hayes modem on COM1, that's the port down here. And if I configure it, manual dial will just open a quick terminal without doing anything. Unfortunately, I cannot run 2 copies of hyperterminal at the same time on Windows CE. I could do a quick test having the laptop talk to itself, but it's not doable. But at least this manual dial gives me a quick terminal window that I can use to send commands to the serial port. So let's open the session, and as you can see, now I have a blank terminal going on, and if you quickly look at the modem, you can see now that the data terminal ready is on, meaning that the computer is talking to the modem. Now our next step is, we are gonna go again to the communications folder, find remote networking, and here I created a quick connection using the built-in modem, but this one is gonna auto dial, and when we dial it, we're gonna see that that's the phone number I found on the internet. I can put the instruction on the description below that came from the cathode ray tube channel. Very good. And username, because the connection is not gonna go on. And if I do connect, let's see what happens. Very good, so you could hear the relay from the modem. We have a busy tone here, coming from the laptop speaker. And we know now that it actually attempted to dial and it worked okay. So this is gonna be it for now. Next step for me is gonna be to just rack the modem up there.